Someday soon, this water box will make its first attempts at silencing the fury of an 1100 triple. Will it be successful? No, but it will continue trying because that's what water boxes do. Let's all take a moment to appreciate water boxes. I don't have a proper building jig to hold everything together. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start tacking stuff together. Oh, huh. I forgot to change my balance back. That's why it's going so crazy. All right, I'm set up to do a little better now. I've got a different tungsten on that isn't so balled up. This should work now. This goes on the outside of that. And it lines up with that line right there. Hot. Okay, I got it tacked. Now I can make sure everything's lined up. Okay, so I have a lead block holding everything down to this aluminum bar. So that should keep these plates in alignment. So that means this piece can go here on the end. All right, put a couple small tacks on the ends here. That's what I can do. I can completely weld this up. I can weld the baffle part up, and then I can do the cutting after. I'm actually going to replace my tungsten as well because it's been welding really shitty. I'm hoping it's just an anomaly and that it's not going to continue doing it, but I started here and the welder was working kind of crappy, and then it started working okay, and yeah, you can tell the difference in quality of the weld. All right. That's what that one looks like. For some reason, I keep hitting the power button or mode button instead of the record button. It's like the 6th time I've done it in a row. Anyway, it's going fairly well, except for not recording it. There's a bit of a gap on this one. Might be tricky, but I'm gonna go for it. Okay, so my welder worked flawlessly yesterday when I was welding up that tubing, this tubing, and now for some reason it seems like it's decided it's gonna work crappy again. So yeah, hoping that it clears up. Alright, that actually went okay, but it was a battle the whole way. Or the welds turned out okay, but it was a battle the whole way. It doesn't heat the metal the same way. Everything kind of just went bad. It doesn't flow the same, it doesn't, yeah. This is almost done except for a centimeter. And I have a feeling now, I'm gonna shut the welder off and leave it and kind of set up the other piece. I have a feeling that this last centimeter, if I don't leave it now, is going to take me hours and hours and hours. All right, YouTube, I changed out the consumables on my torch, so I have the stubby one. It's gonna be way easier to get in here and get stuff done. I'm gonna have lots of room to get at the inside baffles here because, yeah, I can get at them like this very easily. TIG welding aluminum is a beautiful thing when it works out. I don't always have good luck with it, but when it goes well, it really is beautiful. The cleaning action seems to be ridiculous, even though I have it turned down. I'm gonna clean these joints up real good and then I'm gonna try to weld it out. Nope. I've already got a tack here. It's gonna be easier to start at that tack and work my way around, and then start at the tack and work my way the other way. So, start in the middle, work out. This should go well. That went fairly well, all things considered. I did kind of melt off a little piece of the end of the pipe there, but I'll show you guys nonetheless. That's what that looks like. It's kind of funny, that's actually more shiny and better looking than the first one, even though I haven't changed a single thing. As you can see, that weld turned out nice. I think it was a good choice starting in the middle and working my way out from each side. hilarious! Hilarious, I tell you. I'm not stoked that the welder isn't working properly, but I mean, come on, what's not to be happy about there? Even though it kind of screwed up a few times at the end, probably some of the best welds that I've done still, and it's gonna seal up, it's gonna work, so that's what really matters. Alright YouTube, it is a new day and I have come back feeling refreshed. I actually took a day off and did some video editing. I've been chatting with people in the comments section and it's made me realize that this is a fun project, and even when things start to go a little bit wrong, it's still a whole lot better than a day in an office. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind as I move forward. At the end of the last clip you guys saw, the welder was starting to act up quite a bit, and I think I did the right thing and kind of just walked away and left it for a while, which ended up being a whole day, but I think it was still the right plan. When I told you guys about cutting out these plates, the idea was to make them a little bit extra large, and that way I could just kind of sloppy weld them in place. It didn't have to fit perfect. What I was going to do, and what is still part of the plan, is to tack the outer plate in place, and then on the inside I could just put an inch bead of weld on each of these baffles, and that would stop them from moving around, vibrating, wearing through, or cracking. And they don't need to be sealed up perfectly. The gases are going to pass through, you know, the easiest path of resistance, and yeah, so the little cracks and stuff doesn't matter. Inside is here as long as it's sealed from the atmosphere. The way that the plan has changed, not drastically, but I'm basically going to make these fit a whole lot better. One, I need to push my difficulty of welding a little bit further, because there's no way I'm going to get better if I just keep making things really easy for myself. So I'm going to make sure that everything is very precise. I'm going to basically make it so that these seams fit together perfectly here, and you can see there I made the plate big on purpose. That material is going to get trimmed off. For the outside cover, obviously I'm not going to be able to get in and weld at it, so what I think I'm going to do, take it to my mill and use a 16th inch end mill to mill little 16th inch slots in the plate, which will correspond to the baffles. Then when I put this in place and tack it in place, I will actually be able to weld the baffles in from the outside. Pull the first one out. This one. And the Big Daddy. I'm gonna make all the rest of them look like that. I just cut the other plate of aluminum on this shear a few minutes ago, and it cut so unbelievably well. I'm gonna try it again on camera, hoping that it'll go with the same amount of ease, but for some reason every now and then this thing just does not want to cut. But let's see what it does. Like, that was easy. And then I'm going to file down this bead of weld so that it doesn't hold the plate up. Now that I have this line marked across here, I know exactly where the bead of weld is going to sit, and what that means is that I can now finish taking these holes to full size. You can see there's actually a 1/4 inch of material or so. The other thing that I can do now that I have that line marked, I can drill out my, I'm going to drill a couple of 3/8 holes to make sure that the water can bleed out. I'm guessing the camera can't pick that up very well, but I need to cut out a slot between here and here. And then I will be able to start welding this thing together. This is exciting stuff, people. The moment is quickly approaching where this thing is going to change from a bunch of bits of aluminum welded together into an actual water box. I've got the back plate cut to perfect size, it's ready to go, and I've also slotted out the front plate so that I can weld it on from the outside. As you can see, they all line up. It's going to be a bit of a challenging weld, I think, but as long as the welder works okay, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. I've got the inlet and outlet holes cut to final dimension. This might be the last that you guys see of them. I also have the bleed holes cut out to size and placed in the proper location. I could have put them a little bit lower, but I didn't want to risk burning into them with the weld or plugging them up with the weld, so where they are should work fairly well. I am both nervous and excited. Peeling this off. All right, folks, I got it tacked up and I'm ready to start welding. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous, but it's gotta be done. All right, I am pleased with that. I'm gonna let this cool off now and let my welder cool off. Look at that weld. Look at that. That's one nice looking weld. So this is the one that you guys just saw me weld, and then I welded this one off camera. It turned out pretty well. There was a bit more of a gap. I'm trying to make the weld bead lay nice and flat. I don't want a big bulbous weld. And I did pretty good for most of it. There was a couple of places where there were tacks and where I stopped and started where it got a little gross, but I'm pretty happy with that. I think what I'll do now is I'll weld just a little bit inside of here, so I'm going to try to get a weld in on each one of these baffles. Man, I can't wait to hear what this thing sounds like. normal person, when their welder started working bad like that, would just stop welding, but not me. I got it all welded up inside. I'm not sure if you guys will actually be able to see them, but I got a little spot of weld there, there, and here. They were a little bit of a struggle, but they are in there, and they're in there good. You can actually see where they are from the back side, so that means that they took a fairly good bite into the metal. And now it is time to close this thing up. So I'm going to take one last look at the insides, make sure that everything's going to be okay, and then we're going to weld this thing shut, and it's going to be a water box. Made it all the way along there. Nice pretty weld. And then just jammed my tungsten directly into it. Anyway, yeah, look at that. That was my weld. I was going along, stopped here, restarted, and then boom! I had already done this part. Just jammed my tungsten directly into the pool. That is fusion welded up. I don't know, I might go back over that and add some filler, because fusion welds aren't particularly strong, but I guess it doesn't really need to be particularly strong there. So I think I'm going to try doing a fusion weld here as well without dipping my tungsten, and see how it goes. Maybe I'll use the vise as a rest. Are you guys even watching? Try to repeat that performance over here. Repeat the performance, all right. All right, I've only got these joints left to go and the two end seams. So I'm gonna give the welder a little break to cool off, and then I'm gonna come back and finish it up. But it's looking pretty amazing, I have to say. I am extremely excited about it. I'm gonna weld out these little areas here, try to come around the corner, and then put a few tacks on this, and then I'm going to try to fusion weld it. Same thing here, I'm going to come around the corner. I think I'm going to try to fusion weld this together. I think it's going to work, but yeah, not sure. Nope, needs rod. It's turning out to be a pretty ugly weld because I'm trying to do it without adding any filler. So I'm gonna start back over here and add filler to it, just give up on the whole fusion welding idea. All right, folks, I am super happy about that. Hey! That is exciting! Sorry for yelling. I'm gonna clean these off really well and make sure that the cleaner is completely evaporated away before I try to weld it. So I will come back and you guys will see me finishing this up next. We are coming to the end of this journey. Let's take a moment to remember how this life came to be. It started with some sheet metal that was cut out with a jigsaw, rolled up by a slip roller, cut into odd bits and shapes, and then masterfully formed together into what we have here today. Let's not see this as the end of a project, but the beginning of a new water box. Someday soon, this water box will make its first attempts at silencing the fury of an 1100 triple. Will it be successful? No, but it will continue trying because that's what water boxes do. Let's all take a moment to appreciate water boxes. Now we shall proceed. Okay, so I don't expect these welds to be pretty because basically what has to happen, I have to completely blow through this upper plate to make it connect with the lower baffles, and all 4 of these. So basically what I'm gonna try to do, it's against my nature, but what I'm gonna try to do is throttle into it hard, give it lots of amperage, and basically, yeah, just blow through into the lower plate, add lots of filler rod to make sure that it gets sealed up and so that it joins to it. And I'm done! Woo! Alright, the water box is all welded up. It's finished. I am super excited about this. There's only one more thing to do before I can end this video, and that is to put this thing in place in the hull and give you guys a little view of it. So let's get on that. Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube world, we come to you from the inside of my unpainted X2 hull. This is how the water box is going to sit in here. And I am quite pleased about... Oh, you know what I just thought? You guys remind me before I end this video to throw this thing on the scale. We got to see how much it's going to weigh. Okay, so this is how it's going to sit in there. This end is going to get capped off, so I guess it's not 100% finished yet. I've got to cap this end off, but I'm going to kind of wait to do that for a couple of reasons. As far as these outlet pipes, they're actually going to get cut off. I'm probably only going to have like a, I don't know, maybe a little over, probably 3/4 of an inch on the end of here. And then the rest of the pipe from here will be used to make the pie cuts so that this pipe turns and points straight back at the outlet bleed for the expansion chamber. I am extremely pleased with the way this fits in here. I don't know exactly how I'm going to mount it yet, but it almost fits in with the factory straps. Look at that. Would you just look at that? I guess it's not actually 100% completed because I still need to do the pie cuts to make it turn the corner and come back so that the inlet on the water box actually points at the stinger. But that's going to be for another video. Let's go throw this on the scale and see how much it weighs. On the bench in front of us, we have two water boxes. We have the custom water box that I built, and we have the 650X2 water box with its puny little inlet and outlet made out of stainless steel. I'm now going to put it on piece by piece to see how much it weighs because it weighs too much to weigh the whole thing at once. So I'm going to weigh each piece and then we'll add it up and see how much it weighs. I think it was 5 pounds, but we got 214 grams, 480 grams, 1830 grams. So in total we have 2,524 grams, which is this much pounds. And then over in this corner, weighing in at 1,365 grams. 3 pounds, 0.1 ounces for a legitimate water box. Nice. As I was saying earlier, I still need to weld on the pie cuts so that the inlet points back at the stinger. That could be done with hoses, but I really don't want a 90-degree hose going in. I'd rather weld it on, plus it's good experience. I can't say for sure because my plans change day by day, but I would assume that the next video that you guys will be seeing will be me installing the pie cuts on this exhaust, rigging up some sort of mounting system so that it will actually mount into the X2 hull, and putting the stinger on the 1100 pipe so that it lines up perfectly with the water box. That's going to do it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I really did. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Now there's only one more thing to do. Well, actually 2 more things to do. First thing we have to do is this. Ding 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 ding.